The World War I was a great global war which was fought in Europe from July 1914 to November 1918. The belligerents were the Central Powers comprising of the German Empire and the Ottoman Empire. And the Allied Powers comprised mainly of France, Russia, British Empire and Belgium. On the 3rd of August 1914, Germany invaded Belgium and Britain subsequently declared war on the Germans. India was under the British colonial rule during the Great War and fought admirably on several theatres subsequently. Gardner's Horse was then in central India, bemoaning as an internal security unit. The decision was taken to send the complete Indian Cavalry Corps to France. The 2nd Indian Cavalry Division comprised of the Mahou Cavalry Brigade with 2nd Lancers, 6th Dragoons and 38th King George's own Central India Horse. 2nd Lancers Gardner's Horse sailed to Marseilles in December 1914 to spend the next 4 winters on the French soil. The regiment was greeted by dreary skies, rain, snow and sleet. The soldiers were dressed in cotton drill, armed with talwars and lances, having great faith being placed upon them to defeat the enemy. Many a battlefield on the French soil was to testify the gallantry of the Gardner's horsemen. Cambrai, however, was to be the high point of the stay in France. Cambrai was an important supply point for the Germans. Its capture would threaten the rear of the German lines to the north. The British launched an attack on the Germans, and 2nd Lancers was charged as part of the cavalry at Cambrai through a hail of machine gun bullets across the barbed wire fence. Initially, the British achieved a breakthrough with the tanks, but the Germans successfully counterattacked and drove them back. Even though the initial advantage was lost, the Gardner's horsemen were ordered to charge the German position. As the Lancers galloped onto a shallow valley termed the G in the Gap, they came under heavy machine gun fire from the right and left flanks and suffered 100 casualties, including their commanding officer, Colonel H.H.F. Turner, who died on the spot because of a burst of machine gun fire. It was on Colonel Turner's death that his orderly, Hidayat Ali, was to recite in grief these legendary words which run through each Gardner's horseman's veins. Marna sabhi ko hai, par tum bhale mare, karke namak halal, ladte hue gire. Bhuloge aap nahi, jo chip gayi shakal, safe zami pe naam, tumhara hua atal. Under heavy fire of the Germans, the regiment was stuck in Kildare Lane near the outskirts of Pézère. As there was no communication with the higher headquarters, no information could be passed about their situation and location. Volunteers were called for carrying messages to the brigade headquarters. Lance Dafadar Gobind Singh and Sawar Jotram volunteered to carry the messages to the brigade headquarters. The latter took a right-hand course and was seen to be shot dead. Gobind Singh took the lower ground to the south, got about half a mile before his horse was killed by a hail of machine gun fire. He lay for some time near his horse, and when it was clear to him that he was no longer under observation, he rose and ran furiously. When fired upon again, he tumbled over and pretended as if he was shot dead. By repeating this process and wriggling on the ground, he reached the brigade headquarters unhurt. A reply to the message was to be sent. Gobind Singh again bravely volunteered, and he took the high ground on the south of the valley until he crossed the German post. This time he had covered 2/3 of the journey when his horse was shot dead. Again, by repeating the same technique, he safely managed to return to the location of his regiment. An hour later, another message was required to be sent to the brigade headquarters. Once again, the daring cavalryman Lance Dafadar Gobind Singh took upon himself the responsibility of delivering the third message. He was told that he had already fulfilled the task assigned to him, but he clarified that he had known the ground better than anybody else. So the adjutant allowed him to proceed on the strength of this argument. When he was halfway through Effie, his horse was blown into pieces from a direct hit of a shell. But Gobind Singh survived the hit, sprinted on and delivered the message. It should not come as a surprise that he volunteered to carry the message for the fourth time, but he was not allowed to do so. For his splendid and heroic exploit of gallantry, Lance Dafadar Gobind Singh was awarded the coveted Victoria Cross, which is the highest battle honour under the British colonial rule, that is now equivalent to the Param Veer Chakra. Because of the gallant deeds of the Gardiner's horsemen, the British Army achieved success in the battle. For such acts of daring and bravery, 2nd Lancers was the only Indian cavalry regiment mentioned by name by Field Marshal Sir Douglas Haig in his Cambrai dispatch.